Hello and a very warm welcome to latest case analysis series by Law Seco. For today's discussion, we have taken up a Supreme Court decision which is dated 16th of October 2020. The name of the case is Naveen Chandra Dhondial versus the state of Uttarakhand and others. It is a division bench decision and the bench consisted of Honorable Justice UU Lalit and Justice S. Ravindra Bhatt. Now let's proceed and understand the issue of law. So the court was to decide whether established status quo brought about by judgments which have interpreted local and state laws could be lightly departed from. Now, I'm sure as we proceed with the entire case analysis, this issue of law will be easier for us to understand. So, let's first start with the brief facts. So, the cause of action it arose on the passage of an office order dated 21st of December 2019. The appellants they were working as professors in Kumaon University, Nainital, and they were aggrieved by this order which set out their respective dates of retirement. And these dates were the last dates in months they attained the age of superannuation, that is the age of 65 years. Now, aggrieved by this order, the appellants they preferred writ petition before the High Court of Uttarakhand, and the appellants they relied on the university statute number 16.24. The statute it was applicable to them, and they contended that they're entitled to continue till 30th of June following, that is beyond the date of month of their superannuation. And they further argued that by virtue of this term, which is 30th of June following, they were entitled to continue in service on extension up to the end of June 2021. And they relied or they placed reliance on a decision which is called Dr. Indu Singh versus State of Uttarakhand, in which it was stated that those who retire after the 30th of June, they're entitled to continue till the end of the academic year. The division bench, however, placed emphasis on the legislative intent of the statute, which was to the following effect that it was to cater to the supreme need to not adversely affect the academic activities of the institution and to safeguard the interest of the students. The division bench, the Uttarakhand High Court, it rejected the writ petition and held that the case of Indu Singh it was not a binding authority, and as far as the statute number 16.24 on which these appellants place reliance on, or which was rather challenged, the High Court made the following observations. The first being that it sure applies to the university teachers, and clause 2 it places embargo on extension of the service of these teachers beyond the age of their superannuation. And clause 2.1 it provided for, or it merely provided for, if superannuation is not on June 30th, then the teacher shall continue till the end of the academic session, that is June 30th, and same will be treated as re employment. And the court further stated that the word used of the end of the academic session in this particular clause, it was held to be misleading. And the end of academic session, it was not fixed as on June. And further, the court stated that Indu Singh, it was limited to holding that service of employees who are retiring in a given month, they would be extendable till only till the end of the month and not more. And if the appellants were right, then that would mean the extension of employment of every other professor in the university for a year. Now, aggrieved by this decision of the Uttarakhand High Court, whereby the writ petition was rejected, these appellants they came before the Supreme Court and hence the present matter. So now let's proceed and understand the cases or the arguments advanced by the counsels both for the appellant and also for the respondent. So let's first have a look at the case of the appellants. So the appellant stated that the purport of proviso to statute number 16.24 has to be gathered from circumstances because it caters to a specific eventuality, and that eventuality is where teachers superannuates after June 30th of an academic year. So essentially, clause 2 of the statute number 16.24, they provided for certain thing, and then they provided that no teacher shall be reemployed after their superannuation. However, there was a proviso to this clause which stated that if the date of superannuation is not 30th June, then they shall continue into service, or they'll be re-employed at the end till the end of the month. And placing reliance on that same proviso, this particular contention was advanced. That is, it caters to a specific eventuality, and where the teacher superannuates after June 30th of an academic year. So this is the eventuality. So superannuation would normally mean retirement date would be in accordance with the rules. And in this case, it was argued that since provisions applied only to teachers, the intention of the statute was a continuation of the status quo, second, to avoid retirement cost disturbances, and third, likely time to be taken by university to fill vacancies. And this was conceived in the larger interest of the students who would have faced difficulties in completing their syllabi in absence of teacher, and this was also in the larger interest of the new teachers to adjust to the subject and also to the students. Further, it was argued that having regard to the precedential value of Indu Singh, the High Court should not have held that it was incorrectly reasoned, and the bench rather should have considered it, because bench of co-equal strength could not have refused to follow an earlier decision. So these were the arguments advanced by the counsel for the appellants. Now let's have a look at the case of the respondent. So the respondent stated that the Supreme Court should not interfere or need not to interfere with the impugned judgment of the High Court of Uttarakhand. The division bench had good reasons to differ from the case of Indu Singh. Further, it was argued that the impugned judgment took note of the state submissions, which were that according to general order, whenever employee attains superannuation, regardless of the date, he or she was entitled to continue till the end of that particular month and not beyond that. The High Court, it was argued, correctly summarized that the proviso merely embodied the principle underlining that government order, which is ensuring that the teachers retired only at the end of the month during when superannuation is attained. The High Court further stated, and also which was the contention of the respondent, that too much cannot be read into the term the 30th June following, because it implied that if a teacher attains the age of superannuation during June of a year, then he or she could be re-employed till the end of that month. And it did not by any means imply that superannuated teachers had a right to be reappointed or re-employed till the end of June of the next year. And it was further argued that the intent of main provision underlined that every teacher attains superannuation age on 65 years, and in these circumstances he or she cannot claim entitlement to re-employment. So this was the case advanced by the counsel for the respondent. Now let's proceed with the reasoning and decision of the court. So the court stated that followings are made clear on a plain interpretation of the statute number 16.25, including the proviso to clause 2. So the court stated that each teacher attains the age of superannuation on completion of 65 years of age, and no teacher who attains the superannuation age has a right to re-employment in terms of clause 1 of the statute. And the expression no teacher, it appears to rule out the possibility of such re-employment. Then the court went on to discuss the proviso, and the court stated that the proviso provides exception to the main provision, which laid these following 3 points. And the exception was to the following effect, that it provides that a teacher whose state of superannuation does not fall on June 30 shall continue in service till the end of academic session, that is June 30 following, and it will be treated as on re-employment as a re-employment immediately following his superannuation till June 30 the following. The view of the High Court of Uttarakhand and Allahabad High Court has consistently been as follows, the Supreme Court noted. So, the Supreme Court noted that the view of the High Court of Uttarakhand and that of the Allahabad High Court with respect to superannuation of teachers was to the following effect, which was that teachers superannuating are to be treated as re employed or allowed to continue. This should prevail in the larger interest of the pupils or the students. And if the view that found acceptance with the impugned judgment were to prevail, so essentially the court here was trying to say that if we are to agree with the view taken by the High Court of Uttarakhand, then it would mean that there would be avoidable destruction or disruption in the teaching, and the likely delay in filling of the vacancies caused mid-session cannot but be to the detriment of the students. So essentially the court stated that if we are to follow the rulings given by the High Court of Uttarakhand, then that would mean a huge disruption for the students because there would not be any teacher and the syllabi for the students will not be covered, and this will act as a detriment to the students. Further, the court stated that if state or university wish to depart from this, then appropriate measures could have been taken, but they were not taken, putting all concerned parties to notice through amendments. In absence, because such a scenario was not present and appropriate measures were not taken by the university, so in such a scenario, such a departure, though a discordant judgment, through a discordant judgment, as the impugned judgment is in fact it injects uncertainty. So the court stated that in absence of such an appropriate measure being taken by the university, the reliance, if we were to place on the High Court of Uttarakhand's decision, then it would inject in uncertainty and that should be avoided. Then the court went on to make a reference to one of its earlier decisions to state the following, which is also the answer to our issue of law. So the court stated that long ago this court had underlined this aspect that long standing or established status quo brought about by judgments which interpret local or state laws should not be lightly departed from, even by this court. So then the court went on to state or held that the appeals, of course, were allowed, and the court stated that the impugned judgment or orders of the High Court they be set aside for being an erroneous decision. The appellants were held to be entitled to continue till the end of the following June on re-employment. If any of them has been superannuated, he or she shall be issued with orders of reinstatement with full salary for the period they were out of employment and allowed to continue till the following June on re-employment basis. Thus, these professors they were allowed to continue in service till June 2021 and their appeals were allowed. And with respect to the issue of law, the court stated that when there are long standing and established status quo brought by judgments which interpret the local and state laws, then they should not be lightly departed from. And particularly when the view of the Uttarakhand High Court coupled with the High Court of Allahabad is consistent for a long period of time, then departure should not be made lightly without having any checks and balances in place. That is, without having appropriate measures being taken by the universities, which could have ascertained that it does not play as a detrimental factor for the students, or to say that the students have enough resources or teachers available right after the superannuation or retirement of the already employed teacher to cover their syllabi and continue their studies. So that's all we have for this case analysis. At the end of this note, you may find a list of abbreviations which we have used in note, and thank you for being with us.